everyone, this is Joe Van. I wanted to show you guys my other toy. This is a 1966 GMC Handi-Van. It's got most all the original body panels on it. I've had it about 5 years. It originally had the 236. We put the 307 V8 in it. Been through the whole thing bumper to bumper. Everything's new in it. Runs like a champ. I've named the van Red Ryder. It's got a turbo 350 transmission in it. 307 V8 out of a 68 Chevy van. It's got all new gears, 373 rear end in it. Automatic transmission. I've done some stuff to the inside. The interior on this one I'm still working on, but I'm going to go with like a red cedar or an oak. But I've restored everything inside, all the new heater core and dash panels and all that. Get a picture of the motor. The van originally came with a 230 straight 6 and a 3-speed standard transmission. That was upgraded to a 307 V8. It's got a Holley 600 carburetor on it, upgraded to HEI ignition. Got Headman shorty headers going into 2.5-inch Flowmasters coming out of a set of Zumi pipes. The van was built with most all NOS parts. The emblems, the tail lights, the most reverse lights, everything was NOS. We tried to keep it as factory looking as possible. The transmission is a turbo 350. It's got steel sprags in it, Fairbanks shift kit. I got a 2400 B&M stall converter. The rear end is 373 10-bolt rear end, all new bearings, everything's been gone through. It's a factory 3-core radiator for her, but she still runs cool. Everything else has been rebuilt or replaced. She runs like a champ. Like I said, the interior is a work in progress. I'm going to go with the tongue and groove in it. And probably go with the theme. Either use a red stain or a cedar in it. But it's got the original bench seat, which is very rare for a panel van. Most of these panels don't have the seats in them that I know of. And of course, get the picture of the banner. Adventure Vans, that's us. Established 1987. So we've been around a few years. My brother got me the Red Ryder BB gun to match the theme of it. So once I get the walls up and everything, then we'll mount the BB gun and. My friend made me that, and that's all birth year series. So everything is 66. The quarter, the dime, the penny, the dollar bill, everything was series 1966. So I thought that was neat. He did it for me as a gift. Does it at the flea markets for anybody else. And it's got about 63,000 original miles on the van. Probably 25,000 on the motor and drivetrain, if that. I got the California, it's the aluminum style cowl wing, the same one I have on stowaway. And this is the GMC, which is rare. The VIN number is 5554, so it's a very, very low production number on it. But the body's got most all its original panels. There's no fillers in the doors and the quarter panels, nothing. The rear end, it's all floors are solid in it. I was lucky. Being from upstate New York, I can appreciate the no rust. In the back, I've got the factory coach lights, or a set of NOS coach lights for it. Then with the factory spare and hubcap. But it's always been a work in progress. I guess they're never done. If they're done, then it's time to buy something else, I guess. But I'm always working on it, doing something. I went with the blue dots. These on the earlies, the 64 to 66, they're so hard to see the tail lights. I went with the blue dots. The police don't care for it, but at least it brightens it up, makes them a little brighter in the rear. Actually, the pipes are an NOS set of Zumis. I found a guy on eBay that was cleaning out his mother's garage and they were up in the loft. So actually they're from the 70s. They were up there about 35 years. And I paid him for that. I had a friend of mine, 70-degree angle, build me some stainless, they're aluminized pipe. So once they're polished up, you can get them to look like chrome. And it's the headers that go actually to the Flowmasters, 2.5-inch Flowmaster connected to the header. So it's like a header to a muffler to a header. All right, a couple things I did different on the inside. A friend of mine, Dan, owned the van before me, and they put a 15-inch wheel on it, which was a little big. So I went with the 13-inch metal flake steering wheel, which to me looks better, a lot easier to handle. The shifter was on the column. It was a 3-speed converted to automatic, and it didn't lock and park, so I wanted to put the shifter on the box. The shifter is a Hirsch shifter that it's for a rear engine dragster, so actually the cable comes out of the back. So I run it around the inside of the doghouse down to the transmission, and you could still open and close the box like it should. But I went with the Stewart Warner aftermarket gauges in it, and a little overkill on the tack, but I got it for 40 bucks, so you can't complain. I rely on the Garmin for the speedometer because it's about 10 miles an hour off. But the seats actually are out of a Jeep, and they fit the van well. With these earlies, you got to have about a 19-inch wide seat in it, and so that fit well between the motor box. The motor box is a second gen, 67 to 70, which when the V8 was put in, the bigger box was needed, so at least you could work on it. So it's fun to drive. It turns a lot of heads. I go by school bus stops or any kind of a rally. Everybody gives me thumbs up and hits the horn and blinks their lights. So that about sums it up.
Nice van, Joe, but why? Why, Joe, van?
Why you? Because we can. That's why. Because we can. Look forward in the future for further updates on the interior. I'm starting on it this winter, so she should be looking good, hopefully by spring, beginning of summer. And that's it. Truck on, brothers and sisters. Van on.